If you had an opportunity for the best quality relationship you ever had, would you take it? I'm creating an application called Start With Me. And instead of filtering the dating pool, I'm going to raise the bar on the dating pool itself. And we're going to educate the entire dating pool. Before you're even allowed to start swiping, you have to go through a self discovery journey. And then, once you're done with that journey, only then can you start swiping on other people. Now, it's got to be fun. Because you're going to learn a lot about yourself. You're going to learn about how you show up in relationships and understand how you show up in relationships. And once you're exposed to that information, all of your relationships in the world, everywhere, personal, professional, family, non personal, are all going to have a higher quality in it. There's going to be a higher quality interaction simply because you're going to understand yourself better. You'll understand your own personal boundaries. You'll understand your own personal desires, wants, things that fill you up. So you're going to be able to fill your own love bucket. But understanding how you show up in relationships will fundamentally change the way you show up in relationships. Not only will it be educational, but it'll bring attention to it. And I don't know about you, but I've got some great relationships in my life, but they could always be better. Especially considering this is all stemmed after a failed marriage. A failed marriage that put me into a suicidal depression that took way longer than I wanted to climb out. But I have climbed out of it. I am climbing my way out of it, and I am rebuilding who I am as a human being because it crushed every ounce of who I was and what I was prior to the marriage. So, I'm building Start With Me in order to help better relationships. Nobody should have to go through what I went through. It literally almost killed me because I did it to myself. Literally almost killed myself. So, if you spend the time to learn more about how you show up in relationships, the things you need, how your dependency styles, your attachment styles, your love languages, your personality traits, if you show up and you understand more about who you are, you can then be a better partner. And you'll have higher quality relationships. And once you understand how to understand yourself better, you have to teach your kids how to understand themselves better. You have to be a better parent. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Let me tell you, it's hard to try to get your people to understand themselves better. Trying to get you to understand yourself better. Trying to get me to understand myself better is very hard. But Start With Me is going to be a dating application. And I think this is going to be the greatest way to start changing generations of the future. And then as this product starts funding itself, and the validity is shown in the market with customers, and this aim, goal, purpose in life, once this purpose in life has been validated and shown that it has value and it works, it's going to be built for relationships, for people who are already in relationships. Right now, I'm aiming at the market for the people who are about to get into relationships. Because let me tell you, if I had the information I had now, my marriage, I honestly do not believe my marriage would have ever failed. And I don't want your marriage to fail. I don't want your relationships to fail. I don't want anyone's relationships to fail. I want people to value marriage and commitment in vows the way they're meant to be valued. To really, really feel it. And I honestly have a strong belief the reason why people are so willing to walk away from things that they've put so much heartfelt love into is not because that's just generally accepted more in the world nowadays. I think it has a lot to do with understanding ourselves, right? Finding out that we get into the wrong relationships under the wrong intents and the wrong purposes because we didn't understand how we showed up. Or not knowing how to patch or communicate and deal with issues in relationships, and having that be the cause of why you and your partner grow apart to the point where it's unreconnectable, if that makes any sense. But I don't think anyone should have to go through that. I personally want to dedicate my life to building products that bridge that connection, that bridge that broken side of our souls, make us understand ourselves better so we can show up better. We can value these things a lot more. We dedicated vows. Our marriage vows are till death do us part. Through the worst, through better times, through the worst times. And considering the average divorce is actually more than 50%, divorce is, I think it's like 62% as of 2022. 62% of marriages fail. There's a bigger problem in this than the constitution of marriage itself. And I think the first place to start with trying to fix it is to start with me. Because we can't force other people. We can't convince other people of loving you. We have to understand ourselves. And once we know how to show up for ourselves, then we can really show up for everyone else. Because we've all heard that statement, right? You can't give from an empty bucket. So if you learn how to really fill your bucket, you'll have more than enough to share with everyone else. So come with me. Join all the Start With Me social medias. Come to the Facebook community. Join in, chime in, ask questions, share your woes, share your ouches, share knowledge, and help me build this community. Help me build this product. The YouTube channel for Start With Me is going to release these lessons as I develop them and start building the product. Right now, I have built up the pitch deck, the executive summary, I have the application outline, I have the flow of the individual's self-discovery journey all mapped out and thumbed up by a therapist or two. And I am going to start bridging this together. I'm going to start building the content and building out the application. If it's not funded by the time it's ready to start building, I'm going to build that out myself. But if I can get the involvement of everyone else, I can actually make a real impact in the world. This project can make a real impact in the world. So please, if you want to help out, you want to commit, you want to dedicate anything, anytime, if you just want to be part of it, raise your hand, say something, join the community. Let's build this thing out. Let's change the world and how we all value each other. Let's value relationships in the way they're supposed to be valued. Help us all feel loved. Help us all feel feels. Whatever the feels are, just help us feel them. And hey, it's okay to feel angry. You can feel angry. Anger is a feel you can feel. But you also need to know how to communicate it. So, join the Facebook group. Join the Instagram. Join the YouTube. That's where a lot of the content's going to be coming out. It's on YouTube. Community is going to be built on Facebook. The application is going to be put out into the store as soon as it's ready. So check out startwithme.co. Sign up for the newsletter. Let me know you even have an interest. Because the more I can validate the interest through everyone else, the easier it will be to get this thing funded. And if it's not funded, it's being built. It doesn't matter. I'm dedicating my life to this project. no matter what. So please come join me.